What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about renting DVC points in 2022. Honestly, this is my favorite topic when it comes to Disney because it is always my #1 money-saving hack for Disney World. So I'm going to start by giving an update with DVC as a whole and kind of let you know where everything's at, and then provide a couple of tips when it comes to renting points in 2022. Now, if you are unfamiliar with what renting DVC points is or what DVC is as a whole, definitely check out my DVC playlist. I will link that for you above. I would start there and get an overall understanding of how the rental process works, what it means, what it looks like. Those videos are a couple years old, so I would love to do some updated versions of them, but they'll tell you everything you need to know. So start there and then come back here. And I also want to add that if you are looking for a reputable third-party DVC rental company, I always recommend David's Vacation Club Rentals. We have worked with them for years and we have used them for several reservations at this point, and they are amazing. I do have an affiliate link with them below, so if you do decide to rent DVC points through them and use my link, I do make a very small commission on that. So just know that you would be supporting my channel. But again, I absolutely love them. Communication with David's DVC Rental has always been fantastic. They make the process so seamless from start to finish. So I cannot recommend them enough. Highly recommend. All right. Diving in, let's start with an update with DVC as a whole. So I want to share an analogy that I actually read from the Disney Tourist blog. So I have to give them credit for this because it's very creative. But imagine a swimming pool that is filled to the brim, filled to the very top. Now imagine you shrink that swimming pool by 25%. Now 25% of that water has nowhere to go. It has overflowed and that water is gone. So imagine that swimming pool being the DVC inventory and the water being DVC points. Well, in 2020, when all of the resorts shut down for almost 3 months, DVC members had nowhere to use their points. And so most members had to bank their points for the next year. And so now looking at 2021, a lot of those banked points from the previous year that people weren't able to use them, they're now using their points this year. And there's a surplus of points. So ultimately, because 3 months out of the calendar year were taken out of the picture, that's why there is that surplus of points. So I hope that makes sense when it comes to understanding why DVC inventory looks like it has decreased, when really there's just more people using their points right now, when in years past, it really didn't look like this. So all of that leads into my very first tip when it comes to renting DVC points. You're thinking, okay, that's fine, but how does that tie into renting points? Well, here we go. So at the 11-month mark, people are ready to go. Members are online, ready to book their reservation 11 months out. And when you have so many DVC members ready to do that, inventory is flying because people have, again, banked their points for 2021 or even 2022. So this pattern is going to continue for a little while, I feel like. So when you're looking at that rental booking window, in the past, there were definitely a few room types that booked up right at 11 months out. Copper Creek Studios have always been that way. But typically around that 7-month mark, you had a pretty good selection. And then leading into even closer to your vacation, even 2 or 3 months out, you could always get something at Saratoga or Old Key West. Well, now, again, because of that surplus of points, all of the resorts are now booking up way quicker, including Old Key West and Saratoga. And so even getting to that 7-month mark where that window opens up for all members to book at any resort, that selection of what's available is very slim. So when it comes to renting points, my biggest tip is get your request in 11 months out. I mean, I think even 2 weeks prior to that 11-month mark, just so that your request is ready to go right when that window opens. But if you are looking to book any later than 11 months out, it's gonna be really challenging to get the resort you want or even the dates you want. So if renting is something that you are counting on for your 2022 Disney vacation, I would definitely consider get that request in 2 weeks prior to that 11-month mark. And my second tip is to know the updated peak travel windows. Know when you are going to be paying more to rent points and when you will pay less. So Disney has released their updated point chart for 2022, and that's a really helpful resource to look at when it comes to understanding where the peak seasons are. So in years past, summer has always been that peak travel time. Points have always been more expensive during that time frame, and then holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and then that spring break time frame. And then spring, fall, and January have always been the lower seasons, less crowds. You could get something a little more affordable. Well, DVC now knows that the fall is when most DVC members book their vacation. So the peak season has now shifted from summer to fall. So DVC has reallocated a lot of their points to go towards the fall and less in the summer. So that's really helpful to know when you are booking your vacation, to know that if you are planning a fall vacation and renting DVC points, you are gonna pay a little bit more than you would in the summer. And same thing for spring break. That time period is such a broad travel window, so really all of spring, come end of February through May, that is the second highest peak season now. So really the best times to travel after I've looked at the updated point chart system for 2022 is either summer, January, the first 2 weeks of February, or the first 2 weeks of September. Those are gonna be your best travel windows where you will pay the least amount of dollars per point. So it's just helpful to know when you are planning your vacation and anticipating those travel dates. Don't be shocked if you now see, oh my goodness, October is so much more expensive this year than it was in the past. And I believe it's because DVC has realized that members love to stay in those Epcot area resorts because of the Food and Wine Festival, Run Disney. You know, there's a few big things going on in the fall, and those resorts specifically, you're just gonna pay a little bit more. So all of that to say, do your research when it comes to renting points. I still believe wholeheartedly that it is the best way to save money and stay at a deluxe resort and have that experience. But know the peak travel times, and then just know that things are booking up really, really quick. So once you get past that 11-month mark, it's gonna be extremely challenging to rent points. So definitely start planning now if you haven't already. But I hope this was helpful in understanding a little bit more what you can expect for DVC points and renting in 2022, why things are the way they are, and let me know in the comments below. Have you rented DVC points in the past? What was your experience? Do you plan on renting points in 2022? Let me know what your thoughts are. I would love to hear from you. That is it for today. Make sure to like this video if you enjoy DVC related content, and make sure to subscribe if you are not already. But that is it for today, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.